What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into a truly unique and fascinating story. A journey through the rare and hidden coin history of the legendary Dinka tribe and the young nation of South Sudan. Unlike any other place on Earth, the Dinka people have measured their wealth not with shiny coins or stacks of cash, but with something far more valuable: cattle. That's right. While most of the world was obsessed with gold and silver coins, the Dinka saw actual cows as the ultimate symbol of prosperity and status. This mindset has shaped an entire culture and a nation's relationship with money in ways you've probably never heard before. But here's where it gets even more interesting. South Sudan, despite its deep-rooted traditions, does have a handful of coins, and some of them are so rare, so hard to find, they're like treasure hidden in the heart of Africa. Today, I'm revealing 5 of the rarest coins ever used in this region, each with an epic backstory. Media group, slow-motion shot of hands displaying various rare South Sudanese coins, sequence of different coins laid out on a table. Stock distribute equally, from coins born in times of extreme political chaos, to pieces that survived wars and inflation, and even a few created just for the sake of collectors. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss these. So buckle up, because not only will you learn about coins you've never even seen before, but you'll also discover what it truly means to be rich in the eyes of the Dinka. And stick around, because the final coin on this list might just blow your mind with how limited and exclusive it really is. To kick off our countdown, let's start with the 2015 South Sudan £1 coin. This isn't just any old coin, it's a symbol of a nation's hard-won independence. Picture this. In 2011, South Sudan finally broke away and became the world's newest country. 4 years later, they minted their very first generation of national coins. The £1 coin stands out because it proudly features the South Sudanese coat of arms and the majestic African fish eagle, a bird that represents freedom and resilience. But here's the wild part: this coin is incredibly rare. You might think a country would produce millions of their own coins, but South Sudan was facing massive political instability, economic hardship, and ongoing conflict. That meant only a very small batch of these coins ever made it out to the public. Most people in South Sudan never even held one in their hands. Collectors across Africa and around the world have been searching for these coins. But finding one in perfect condition is basically like winning the lottery. The few that remain are often worn down from use, adding to their mystique and value. If you stumble across a pristine 2015 £1 coin, you're looking at a piece of history that tells the story of a nation's birth. Now imagine holding that coin and realizing you're touching the hopes and dreams of an entire country. It's more than just metal. It's a moment frozen in time, representing the struggle, the pride, and the identity of South Sudan. That's what makes this coin so special, and why it's the perfect way to start our journey. So next time you see a coin, remember, some coins carry the weight of an entire nation's story, and for South Sudan, the £1 coin is just the beginning. Now, let's talk about a coin that's even harder to find than the £1. The 2015 South Sudan 50 piastres coin might seem small, both in value and in size, but its story is massive. When this coin was introduced, it was supposed to help everyday people buy simple things, like bread or tea. But here's the twist. South Sudan's economy was hit by runaway inflation, almost overnight. Prices skyrocketed, and suddenly, the 50 piastres coin was nearly worthless for daily transactions. People stopped using them, and shops didn't even bother giving them as change. Most of these coins got tossed aside, thrown into drawers, or simply lost in the chaos of daily life. Soon, they became almost impossible to find, especially in good condition. What makes this coin rare isn't just its low value, it's the fact that so few survived the storm of inflation. The ones that do exist are often scratched, bent, or corroded by years of neglect. Coin collectors love these stories because every surviving 50 piastres is like a survivor of a financial earthquake. Look closely at one of these coins and you'll see the emblems of a young nation, hopeful and fresh, now almost forgotten. It's a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change and how currency can become history in the blink of an eye. If you ever get your hands on a 2015 50 piastres coin, hold on to it tight. You're not just saving a piece of metal, you're preserving the memory of a country wrestling with the realities of independence and economic survival. Let's rewind the clock even further, to a time before South Sudan was even an independent country. Back then, the region was ruled by the Anglo-Egyptian administration, and the coins in circulation were called piastre. The pre-1956 Sudanese piastre is a true relic of colonial history, and finding one today is like discovering an artifact from a lost world. These coins were minted in the early 20th century, often stamped with the image of British monarchs and Arabic inscriptions. They passed a thumb through the hands of traders, farmers, and colonial officials, each coin absorbing stories as it traveled across the vast plains of Sudan. For the people of the South, these coins were foreign and strange, used mainly for taxes or trade with outsiders. Over time, as independence movements grew and the region's identity began to shift, many of these coins disappeared. Civil wars, migrations, and the harsh climate meant that very few pre-1956 piastre coins survived, especially in the southern regions. What makes these coins so special isn't just their age, but the history they represent, a time when currency was imposed from outside, and local traditions clashed with foreign rule. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of the colonial puzzle that shaped modern South Sudan. Collectors prize these coins for their rarity and their historical weight. Each one is a silent witness to the struggles and changes that swept across this land, long before the idea of a South Sudanese coin even existed. Moving forward in time, let's talk about the Sudanese pound coins from the 1960s and 1970s. Once South Sudan became part of independent Sudan, new coins were issued to symbolize national unity. The pound coins from this era were sturdy, beautifully designed, and meant to be used by everyone from city dwellers to rural villagers. But the story doesn't end there. As decades passed, Sudan was rocked by civil wars, political upheaval, and economic crises. Many of these early coins were lost in the chaos, destroyed, melted down for metal, or simply abandoned as people fled conflict zones. Surviving coins from this era are now extremely rare, especially in South Sudan, where so much history was erased by war. If you ever come across a Sudanese pound coin from the 60s or 70s, you're looking at a survivor, a piece of metal that somehow escaped destruction and made it to the present day. The designs on these coins often include national symbols, Arabic calligraphy, and intricate patterns that reflect the hopes of a new nation. Collectors know that each of these coins tells a story of resilience. They're not just currency. They're reminders of a turbulent past and the unbreakable spirit of the people who lived through it. Holding one is like holding a fragment of hope, forged in the fires of conflict. These coins are especially valuable to historians and collectors, because then they bridge the gap between colonial rule and independence, between unity and division. Every scratch, every faded inscription tells its own tale. And now, for the grand finale, the most exclusive coins in the entire region, the commemorative South Sudan coins. Unlike regular circulation coins, these were produced in extremely limited numbers, often for special occasions or to honor important milestones. Most of them never even made it into the hands of ordinary people. Instead, they were snapped up by collectors almost instantly. These coins come in all shapes, sizes, and materials. Some are made of precious metals with intricate designs that showcase the beauty and culture of South Sudan. Others commemorate independence, peace agreements, or national heroes. What they all share is their rarity. Some issues had only a few hundred coins minted, making them nearly impossible to find outside of private collections or museums. Getting your hands on one of these commemorative coins is like winning the treasure hunt of a lifetime. Each coin is a work of art, crafted with care and precision, designed to capture the spirit of a nation rising from the ashes of conflict. The stories behind these coins are just as impressive as the coins themselves. For collectors, these are the crown jewels, the coins everyone dreams of finding but almost nobody ever sees in person. If you're lucky enough to own one, you're holding a piece of history that few people will ever touch. The rarity and exclusivity of these coins mean their value keeps rising, both in terms of money and meaning. They're not just souvenirs, they're living reminders of South Sudan's ongoing journey toward peace and prosperity. So, after all this, let's bring it back to the heart of our story, the Dinka. For centuries, the Dinka have measured their wealth not with coins, but with cattle. Even today, a herd of cows is worth more than any stack of coins, and the true measure of a person's prosperity is the sound of hooves, not the jingle of pocket change. This unique perspective has shaped their culture and their relationship with money in ways that are truly one of a kind. It's important to remember that the Dinka never had their own coins. Every rare coin we've talked about today, from colonial relics to ultra-rare commemoratives, marks the passage of foreign powers, shifting borders, and the rise of a new nation. But through it all, the Dinka's idea of value has stayed rooted in tradition, not currency. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare coins of South Sudan and the Dinka tribe, let me know in the comments. And if you want a viral YouTube script, a killer thumbnail idea, or SEO tags for this topic, drop a comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, because stories like this deserve to be heard.